They asked me in seminary if I was embarrassed that I was putting myself through Divinity School as a fan dancer. And I said, oh no, it's going to come in handy one day. I'm just preparing. Actually, I was pastoring already in seminary and also fan dancing. When I was in college, though, one of my dearest friends was what we called in those days Nelly. Oh, you know Nelly. See, now later it became a singer, but it was an adjective before that. And I'll call this person Shelly, just in case because people are still around, and that's similar to Shelly's real name. Well, if we were in college today, Shelly would probably identify as non-binary. That sort of shows how not in boxes Shelly was, right? Now, I'm not sure if I ever told Shelly this, but they were an absolute hero to me. I mean, I was young, just in college, and to have someone only a year or two older be that much more self-possessed, that much more self-aware, it was a good influence. Shelly was fearless. They were funny, they were talented, they were kind, they were gifted, they were larger than life. Shelly made their own clothes because there was just nothing on the rack quite enough. Do you know what I mean? And Shelly did Shelly's own hair because there was not a style in existence that was quite enough. Well, one day we were walking together and a pickup truck drove by and the man driving yelled out, "Fag." It's kind of menacing, actually. And without missing a single beat, Shelly yelled back, "That's Miss Fag to you." I think in that moment I developed a little crush on Shelly. Well, we lost touch after college, but a few years later, one day in Dallas, Texas, I heard a voice from about half a block away in the neighborhood. "Miss Thang, Miss Thang." And I looked up, and it was Shelly running across the street directly toward me. Now, there's a million people in Dallas, and I'm supposed to know that Miss Thang meant me? Well, chances were, right? And Shelly trusted that I'd get it, and I guess I did. Well, Shelly had to learn these defense mechanisms. Shelly had turned Nelliness into a martial art and had to do so. Had to learn to express themselves because the ugliest representation of Christian believers said that people like Shelly, people like me, were abominable. They were taught that our very lives were offensive, that our love was false, that our spirituality was blasphemous, that our expression of gender was somehow disordered. And they were taught, or they were teaching these that deserved to be harassed and threatened and humiliated. You just can't be cruel to someone that you see as a person. You just can't be cruel to someone who you see as having feelings and thoughts and agency. You have to dehumanize them to be consistently cruel to them. And when people say, well, it's not cruel to tell you that just because of who you are and who you love, that you're going to spend eternity in torment, preach with me, because you know I'm telling the truth, that it's not cruel to tell you that just because of who you are and who you love, that you will spend eternity in torment just for that, because you can't change. If you would just change, it'd be okay. But of course you can't change. But we're telling you that you can change and that you have to, or you will be tortured. And when you say, what sense does that make? I wouldn't even want to have anything to do with that sort of God. But they've got a verse and they've got an opinion. And then when you say that's mean, no, it's not mean. It's because I love you that I'm telling you that you are damned, that you are no damn good because I love you. Keep all that love far from me. That kind of love is what Mace was made for. Do you know what I mean? That is scary love. That is hateful love. And so Shelly had to learn how to defend themselves against that kind of abuse. I'm 39, 18 now. So I'm a big fan of Shelly still. And I'm a big girl my own self now. And I can quit back, and I can stand up. And I have been at rallies where I was nose to nose with those sign-carrying people. And I have learned to overcome fears and to stand up and make my voice heard and to speak for those who can't speak. But when that truck drove by, remember I said, Shelly said, not we said. Shelly said. Shelly demonstrated what it was like to be brave, even when outnumbered, even when completely demonized. Shelly showed what it was to love yourself so much that those insults were powerless against them. Well, I know that now. But to get where Shelly was way back then, my inner Gaby had to be healed. I had to be healed before I could stand in my own truth and claim my agency and demand my rights and dignity. But Shelly taught me how to do that. The utterly fabulous Pink sings, "Pretty, pretty please. Don't you ever feel like you're less than expletive deleted perfect." Rhymes with mucking. And pretty, pretty please. If you ever feel like you're nothing, you're expletive deleted perfect to me. Before Pink affirmed that for all of us, Shelly affirmed it for me. And it is now my job to affirm it, not only to you, but to every single person who needs to hear it and who will listen. If you've never heard it before, hear it now. People on the internet, if you've never heard it before, hear it now. People in Jamaica, if you've never heard it before, hear it now. People in Nigeria and Kenya, if you've never heard it before, hear it now. People in Saudi Arabia, people in West Virginia, people in Texas and Arkansas and Kentucky and Mississippi and in Tallahassee. If you've never heard it before, hear it now and commit to telling yourself this every day. Just as you are, as you were designed to be, you're freaking perfect. Now spread the word. Amen.